Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet. Before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Sanatana and Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the Personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1. The Supreme Lord is equal to everyone. So, we read till text number 35, where we were discussing some of the questions of Maharaj Yudhishtira, that how come Jaya and Vijaya, who were the doorkeepers, cursed by the Brahmanas? So, because in Vaikuntha there is no envy. Who are these personalities who curse them, and how can they fall down? So it's a great curiosity in the mind of Maharaj Yudhisthira. So let's see what the great spiritual master Naradamuni replies from text number 36. Sri Narada Uvacha Ekada Brahmana Putra Vishnu Lokam Yad Richaya Sanandanadayo Jagmus Charanto Bhuvana Trayam. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great saint Narada said, once upon a time, when the four sons of Lord Brahma, named Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara, were wandering throughout the three worlds, they came by chance to Vishnu Loka. So Naradamuni is about to share this story, and that's how most stories begins. Once upon a time, Ekada. And this word comes multiple times in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Ekada. Any story is beginning, this word Ekada is used, and that's how stories begin, with Ekada. Once upon a time there was a king, once upon a time there was this, once upon a time Mother Yashoda was churning butter. So these great souls, the four Kumaras, were wandering, and we have discussed why do great souls wander? To purify the whole world. By their wandering, they are purifying. So they came to Vishnu Loka. So let's see what happens when they came to Vishnu Loka. And I think we have discussed these are the four sons of Lord Brahma, and they are the initiators of one of the paramparas also, and namely Kumar Sampradaya, four Kumaras, and externally they appear to be, I think it's coming in the next verse, so we'll leave that for. So let's read what happens next when they came to Vishnu Loka. Raghu Prabhu, you want to read, please?
Yeah, I can do that. Thank you, Prabhu.
Please.
Hare Krishna devotees, text 37. Pancha Sadaya Narabhabha Purvesam Api Purvaja Igvasaha Ishun Matma Dwa Dastau and Pratyaya said that translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Sri Prabhupada. Although these four great sages were older than Brahma's other sons, like Marici, they appeared like small naked children, only 5 or 6 years old. When Jaya and Vijaya saw them trying to enter Vaikuntha Loka, these two gatekeepers, thinking them ordinary children, forbade them to enter. Purport. In this regard, Srila Madhavacharya says in his Tantrasara, Dvastav ti anedikara statvam uktam adhikara stitach cheva vimukta cha dividaha chana vishnuloka stitach tesam vara sapadi yogina adhikara stitam muktam niyattam prapnuvanti cha vimukti anantaram tesam vara sabdayo nanu tehendrayasu yuktascha purvam paschan nater yutaha api abhimani pish tesam te devahi swammatto mer yutaha. The purport is that the personal associates of Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha Loka are always liberated souls. Even if sometimes cursed or blessed, they are always liberated and never contaminated by the material modes of nature. Before the liberation to Vaikuntha Loka, they possessed material bodies. But once they come to Vaikuntha Loka, they no longer have them. Therefore, even if the association of Lord Vishnu sometimes descend as if cursed, they are always liberated. So here is described how the 4 Kumaras are described as being small naked children, and they tried to enter Vaikuntha Loka, where Jaya and Vijaya are the gatekeepers, and so they thought they were just ordinary children and forbade them to enter. So here it says also that the Vaikuntha Loka people are all liberated souls. Even if they are cursed or blessed, they're always they're liberated souls. Yeah, you can add more, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. So externally, they appeared to be just like 5-6 year old young babies covered in different directions. But internally, they were pure souls. They're already Brahman realized. And this pastime is so important. It came actually before this whole description in Canto 3 also, where we discuss about the other brother of Hiranyakashipu, namely Hiranyaksha, the other son of Diti. So Diti, we discussed about the Marutas in the last chapter, in the last canto. We discussed about Varahadev and briefly about Hiranyakashipu, just a few verses. But now this whole canto, a lot of chapters are devoted to that discussion. So that's how the story is progressing. So over there also, this pastime, the doorkeepers checking the entry of the 4 Kumaras came, so which shows that it is so important. And the lesson here is to not judge one's spiritual maturity by the externals. And one other point which Prabhupada is making, that these doorkeepers are always liberated. So even if they were externally cursed, but that's a divine pastime of the Lord. So they did appear on the earthly planets. Basically, it appeared that they fell down from Vaikuntha, but Nitya Siddhas, they are eternally liberated, always liberated. So it's not that their falling down is same as the ordinary jiva falling down. That's different. Any other comments or questions?
Hare Krishna, this is Bhadra Dhanavas. So from this purport, it sounds like, if I'm wrong, please correct me, it sounds like that the liberated soul, just like it says that these are Vaikuntha, they are Vaikuntvasis, and they acquired the material body when they came here. But still in the material body, they were completely liberated souls. In the material body, usually modes of material nature acts. But in their case, modes of material nature were not acting on them, even though they had material body, but they were liberated soul. So same thing can be, I guess, as I understand, that the liberated personality who are coming in this material world, they are for the certain purpose. They are getting material body, but they are completely liberated. The modes of material nature are not acting on that. While in our case, of course, I'm saying for myself, after many millions and millions of births, material body, so the material modes are always acting. So we are on the path of this Krishna consciousness to go above. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Okay, let's read the next verse. Would someone like to read? Text 38.
I can read, Prabhu.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavas to everyone. Text number 38. Ashapana kupita evam yuvam vasamna charhatha rajastam homya rahite padamule madhut vishaha papishthamasuri yoni palisho yata mashvataha. Translation by Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus checked by the doorkeepers Jaya and Vijaya, Sanandana and the other great sages very angry cursed them. You two foolish doorkeepers, they said, being agitated by the material qualities of passion and ignorance, you are unfit to live at the shelter of Madhudvasa's lotus feet, which are free from such modes. It would be better for you to go immediately to the material world and take your birth in the family of most sinful asuras. So the story continuing here, those Kumaras, when they're trying to enter, and Jaya Vijaya stopped them. So naturally they got very angry, and they kind of now telling him that you have been agitated, material qualities. So again here Prabhupada is explaining what happened when you have the material qualities. Basically, you are unfit to leave the shelter of Supreme Personality of the Godhead, because Supreme Personality of the Godhead is above the modes of this material nature. But again, one has to be very carefully in this material world when you're serving the Lord, and to check yourself that in which modes you are trying to serve. And if you are trying to serve in the ignorance or any other modes, so basically that's not the we have been reading that Prabhupada is not recommended. The one has to serve him the most of good material goodness, and that's what we should be able to understand from this. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Back to you.
Thank you, Prabhu. As I said, this pastime comes in Canto 3, Chapter 15 and 16. There it comes in more detail. I'll just read a verse from there, Canto 3, Chapter 15, text 32. The sages, referring to the four Kumaras, it's exactly parallel. The sages said, who are these two persons, referring to Jaya and Vijaya, who have developed such a discordant mentality even though they are posted in the service of the Lord in the highest position and are expected to have developed the same qualities as the Lord? How are these two persons living in Vaikuntha? Where is the possibility of an enemy's coming into the kingdom of God? The Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has no enemy. Who could be envious of him? Probably these two persons are impostors, therefore they suspect others to be like themselves. So it's mentioned that they were angry. Of course, it's a divine arrangement in this whole episode. But the lesson there is that the Nitya Siddhas have the same quality as that of the Supreme Lord. That is, Suhrida Sarva Bhutanam. They don't have this friend and enemy mentality. They are free from envy. They are free from, he is fit to enter in Vaikuntha and he is not fit to enter in. These children who appear to be clothless and immature, they don't appear to be fit to be Vaikuntha, to enter in the gates of Vaikuntha. So that was the mentality going on in the minds of the four Kumaras. As a result, they cursed. We have to keep always that frame in mind, that this is all a divine transcendental arrangement. But the lesson is to be not judgmental and to try to develop those qualities of being a friend towards everyone and overcome the vices of envy. Any other comments anyone has?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Raghunandan Das. Another thing that in addition to what you said, these pastimes are valuable lessons for a person like me who is trying to practice devotional service. How I should be careful in my dealings with other living beings and especially devotees. How respectful I should be in my dealings with them. So if I am not careful and make a mistake or offense, then it could affect my practice of bhakti, and it could also prevent me from practicing bhakti. So because that's what happened to Jaya and Vijaya. They were cursed by these elevated saintly personalities, the Kumaras, and for 3 births they could not practice bhakti. They even though they were thinking constantly about the Supreme Lord, it was in an unfavorable way, and it took a while for them to come back to their original position of rendering service. So that's a great warning and caution for people like me.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
I can hear, Prabhuji.
I think Raghunandan Prabhu got disconnected. So, Dev Prabhu, you want to read?
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all praise to Srila Prabhupada. Text number 37.
39, yeah.
Oh, sorry. 39. Evam saptau swa bhavanat patanu tau kripalubhi proktar punar janme birvam tribir lokya kalpatam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Jai. While Jaya and Vijaya, thus cursed by the sages, were falling to the material world, they were addressed as follows by some sages, who were very kind to them. O doorkeepers, after 3 births, you will be able to return to your positions in Vaikuntha, for then the duration of the curse will have ended. So, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, as you rightly explained here, so the Jaya and Vijaya were cursed by the sages, but also they got a benediction that after the 3 births they'll come back to Vaikuntha Loka because the curse would have been ended. So here we can see that whenever a devotee like even Naradamuni or any other pure devotees curse, like we recently read about Virsrava, goddess Parvati Devi also cursed, but the curse is actually externally it may appear as a materialistic way, but ultimately they will get benediction and they will come near to the Lord. Even we see Naradamuni when he cursed Nalukuvera and Manigriva, they stood there in front of Nanda Maharaj ashram, home, and they were able to witness all the leelas, which even so many gods were trying to not able to have the darshan. So if we have to always think in the positive way, so whatever happens, nothing will happen. Even as we know, even a blade of grass cannot move without the will of the Lord. So we have to think that this is all the orchestration of the Lord to teach us a few things, and also to tell us that I am there for you, and if you just follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, very simple instructions, and keep Krishna consciousness in center, any curse, even we saw that gopis, they were ready to take the curse, when so many people refused to give the dust of their feet, fearing, they'll get cursed. But gopis, were ready to give because they knew that anything they can do for Krishna, they are ready to go even to the hell. That's my understanding, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Please add.
Thank you, Prabhu. In the 3rd canto, this pastime is described in much more detail. As I mentioned before, there are almost 2 chapters dedicated to this pastime. Here, there are like a couple of verses only. But over there, when this curse was about to happen, the Lord appears on the scene, and then the 4 Kumaras offers wonderful prayers, and then the Supreme Lord offers, respects to the Brahmanas or the 4 Kumaras, and then he says 2 very nice verses, which I'd like to just share. That I approve of your, punishment, whatever you have decided. I approve of that because the words of the Brahmanas, the Brahmavakya, and you are. So this is Canto 3, Chapter 16, text number 5. A wrong act committed by the servant leads people in general to blame his master, just as the spot of white leprosy on any part of the body pollutes all of the skin. So what Krishna is ready is so Bhakta Vatsala. He's saying this wrong act is not actually their wrong act, but actually it is I take the blame. So Krishna is so kind. And in the next verse, he goes to even extreme. Anyone in the entire world, even down to Chandala, who lives by cooking and eating flesh of the dog, is immediately purified if he takes bath in hearing through the ear the glorification of my name, fame, etc. Now you have realized me without doubt. Therefore, I will not hesitate to lop off my arm if its conduct is found hostile to you. So, Krishna is willing to lop off his own arm if it is, if its conduct is found hostile to you, referring to the four Kumaras. That much he loves his devotee and so caring, and he's taking the blame also, and that's the mercy of the Lord. Okay, so let's see what happens next. Would someone like to read, please, who has not read yet?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
I have a question here, actually. Can I ask?
Yeah, please speak in the your mouth close to the microphone.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji. So is it audible now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So actually that Jaya Vijaya, they are course for the three life, right? Shishupala, Dandavakra, Kumbhakana Ravana, and Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. But what about the Jagai Madai? So what is the reason behind that? Why they come for the fourth time?
They are the eternal associates of the Lord. When the Lord wants them to come, they'll come. It's not necessarily they need to be cursed. Krishna is coming in the Chanda avatar, and they also join. So I don't know if there is a specific reason, but they are happy to assist the Lord in the pastimes of the Lord. Like wherever the Prime Minister goes, the entourage follows. So in the Chanda avatar also, the entourage, the eternal associates, they join the Lord. That's my understanding. If anyone wants to add to that, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is Raghunandan Das. One time I heard that this particular Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Sisupal, Dandavakra were actually those personalities were that those pastimes were played by Jaya and Vijaya. It doesn't mean that every time Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha come, Jaya and Vijaya descend. The Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha might be some other conditioned souls that could be playing those pastimes with the Supreme Lord in those different incarnations when the Supreme Lord descends every time in the Yuga. So this particular Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu is Jaya and Vijaya. So there are multiple times Lord Narasimha incarnation happens in specific yugas every time, and there will be some Hiranyakashipu at that time. But it's not the same as the Jaya and Vijaya that's being discussed in these pastimes. That's what I heard, and it made more sense to me, because there are multiple incarnations and multiple times Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha are there, but not necessarily the same Jaya and Vijaya.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Subrat Prabhu, you want to read next?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna, devotees, Sanatana. Jagyata Dite Putrau Daitya Dhanava Banditau. Somebody's keep on calling me. Hiranya. So somebody keep on calling me. Can I read the next verse?
Okay. Yes, Vipul Prabhu, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, Dhanavas Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 40. Jajnate taudite putrau Daityo Dhanavo Banditau Hiranyakashipur Jestho Hiranyaksha Nujastato. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: These two associates of the Lord, Jaya and Vijaya, later descended to the material world, taking birth as the two sons of Diti, Hiranyakashipu being the elder and Hiranyaksha the younger. They were very much respected by the Daityas and Dhanavas, demoniac species. So, as you know, the first reincarnation for the two close associates of Lord, Jaya and Vijaya, as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, and they are the sons of the deities, and that we discussed in the previous canto, in sixth canto. And they are so powerful that definitely they are the Lord of the Dhanavas and Daityas, and even the demigods also are scared of them. Back to Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. I think it's very straightforward. So let's move on. Someone like to read next verse?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I would like to read.
Yes. Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, my Dandavat pranams to all the devotees assembled here. Text 41. Hato Hiranyakashipu Harina Simharupina Hiranyaksho Darodhare Vibrata Shankaram Vapuhu. Translation by His Divine Grace, Bhai Charna Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Appearing as Narsimhadev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Hari called Hiranyakashipu, killed Hiranyakashipu. When the Lord delivered the planet Earth, which had fallen in the Garbhodaka ocean, Hiranyaksha tried to hinder him, and then the Lord, as Varaha, killed Hiranyaksha. Over to you, Prabhuji.
So here Naradamuni is explaining this pastime in very, very brief. How Hiranyaksha was killed by Lord Varahadev, and this we have discussed in Canto 3, I believe. Lord Varahadev comes, I think, in two different times, the 6th Manvantar and the 4th Manvantar. We can double check, it's in Canto 3, I believe. So this is just very brief, but we'll go in detail later. So Varahadev we have already discussed. So let's continue.
Yes, I can read through.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Hare Krishna devotees. Text 42. Hiranyakashipu putram Prahaladam Kesava priyam Jigmasur Akora Nana Yatana Mrityu Hai Tabe. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, the Prabhupada Ki Jai. Desiring to kill his son Prahalad, who was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, Hiranyakashipu tortured him in many ways. It's very self-explanatory. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, so we'll be reading this whole thing, pastime in great detail, thanks to Parikshit Maharaj and Yudhishtira Maharaj, who are very, very inquisitive. And this theme is very, very consistent. Like Shukdev Goswami or Naradamuni, they speak the story, and then suddenly, we'll see later that how Shukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj will ask a question. Why did Gajendra, how come Gajendra was delivered? Or how come, in the 4th canto, this we have seen in multiple cantos. In the 4th canto, Sati burned herself in her father's yajna because of the dissension between Sati's husband and Sati's father, Daksha, and Sati's husband, Lord Shiva. And then the next chapter opens with a question. What was that dissension? Why did, someone envious towards Lord Shiva? Same happened in the story of Vritrasur. But Parikshit Maharaj asked this question in great detail. How come Vritrasur? So the story is first briefly discussed or just in a couple of verses, and then all glories to the great students or great disciples, like here Yudhishtira Maharaj or his grandson Parikshit Maharaj, who asked the questions further so that all of us can receive this nectar. So here it's just a quick summary of the whole pastime. How Narasimhadev was killed, how his son was tortured by many, many ways, who was a devotee of the Lord, and next. So let's read the next verse. Would someone like to read? Anyone who's not read yet?
Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
I can read. Prabhuji.
Please.
Text 43. Tama sarva bhutatma bhutam prasantam samadarsanam bhagavat tejasa sparsatam nasandhansam uday maham. Translation and purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Sri Prabhupada. The Lord, the super soul of all living entities, is sober, peaceful and equal to everyone. Since the great devotee Prahlad was protected by the Lord's potency, Hiranyakashipu was unable to kill him, in spite of endeavoring to do so in various ways. Purport. In this verse, the word Sarva Bhutatma Bhutam is very significant. Ishara Sarva Bhutatanam Rid Dese Arjuna Tishtati. The Lord is equally situated in the core of everyone's heart. Thus, he cannot be envious of anyone or friendly to anyone. For him, everyone is the same. Although he is sometimes seen to punish someone, this is exactly like a father punishing his child for the child's welfare. The Supreme Lord's punishment is also manifestation of the Lord's equality. Therefore, the Lord is described as Prashantam Samadarshanam. Although the Lord has to execute his will properly, he is equipoised in all circumstances. He is equally disposed toward everyone. Please explain, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, the Lord is equipoised. We have discussed this in almost like 10 times in this chapter, that the Lord is not inimical towards anyone, neither is he friendly towards anyone. Depending upon the degree with which we approach or how we approach, the Lord reciprocates. Very, very simple, because he is our dear friend actually. The problem is that I have forgotten that he is situated right in the region of the heart. So like a father is not envious or the mother is not envious towards one child and friendly towards the other child, similarly everyone is a child of God or Krishna. So he is peaceful, he is equal, sama, he is sober, shanta. All these adjectives are used to describe the character of the Lord. But nonetheless, we will see that he is very kind upon his devotees. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maiti teshu chapyaham. Like a child who is very, very obedient, caring towards his parents, and there's one child who's always, creating problems for the parents. It is natural that the Lord, the parent, as our true father, true mother, will punish the child for who's doing wrong, not because they hate him or her, but they want to correct him. And similarly, they may reward sometimes a child who is very caring and kind, not because they are more friendly towards them, but they want to encourage that behavior. So same is true for the Lord. In fact, it's reverse. Everything is coming from the Supreme Lord. Any other comments anyone has?
Yeah, this is Bhadra again. Dandavat everybody. In the translation, it says that since the great devotee Prahlad was protected by the Lord's potency, and Hiranyakashipu was unable to kill him. And the purport Srila Prabhupada mentioning about the Lord, how Lord is equal to everyone. But the translation that he was protected by Lord's potency means the Prahlad also had the same qualities as the Lord in the minute quantity. And it says that Prahlad was also dear like Lord to everybody. And he was peaceful, and even though his father hated him, but he didn't see, even his father, he didn't see him in the hateful way. He was peaceful because he didn't hate his father, even though father tried to kill him. So he saw the both happiness and distress equally. As a devotee. So that's the point is here when it says that Prahlad was, protected by the Lord's potency. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Would someone like to read the next verse who has not read today? Anyone in a position to read? Not true.
I would like to read.
Please, Prabhu.
Text 44. Tatastau rakshasau jatau keshinyam Virsrava sutau Ravana kumbhakarnascha sarvaloko patapanau. Translation. Thereafter, the same Jaya and Vijaya, the two doorkeepers of Lord Vishnu, took birth as Ravana and Kumbhakarna, begotten by Virsrava in the womb of Kesini. They were extremely troublesome to all the people of the universe. Pretty much self-explanatory, but one thing that I find really inspiring while reading Srimad Bhagavatam is when they talk about some important personalities, they talk about the mother and the father and give the names also. And especially when it is very elevated saintly personalities, it is so beneficial to remember those personalities as well as the names of their parents. Because when the Supreme Lord descends, he accepts a devotee as a mother and a father, and even they are so elevated that the Supreme Lord has accepted them as his parents. So that's why we glorify Vasudeva, Devaki, Mother Yashoda, and Nanda Maharaj. Like that every time, and even when he descends as Vaman Dev, we come to hear about the name of his parents. So I find that to be very enlightening and inspiring. The Srimad Bhagavatam goes to that level of details to provide, and here it's providing the information of Ravana and Kumbhakarna and their parents' names also. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So, in the Satyuga, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, in the Treta, Ravana and Kumbhakara, and the Dwapar, we will read in the following verse the three different births as per the curse of the four Kumaras. So let's continue reading. Anyone who has not read today?
Yes, Prabhu, I can read.
Yes, so.
Text 45. Tatrapi ragavo bhutava nyahana chapamuktaye Rama Viryam Sosyasitvam Markanteya Muktat Prabhu. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Naradamuni continued, my dear king, just to relieve Jaya and Vijaya of the Brahmana's curse, Lord Ramachandra appeared in order to kill Ravana and Kumbhakarna. It will be better for you to hear narration about Lord Ramachandra activities from Markanteya. Prabhuji, back to you.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, Bhadra Prabhu, you know about this Rishi, Markanteya Muni?
No, I don't much know about that.
I just know very, very brief that there is a famous dialogue about the activities of Lord Ramachandra by this sage Markanteya Muni, who had a very, very long life. And I can try to find out more unless someone wants to add. So the humility of Naradamuni, look at the humility here of Naradamuni. He is saying that it's better you hear about this glories of Lord Ramachandra from this person. It takes a lot of humility for someone who is such a Mahabhagavad and say that, this person is actually better speaker of Ramakatha than me, then you go and hear from him. In the material world, it is very hard to find because of envy. But the spiritual master like Narad Muni, they don't have envy. They want to give the best to the child or their student. So I feel that that's a great lesson. And often Lord Brahma, also shows this quality. When demigods approach him to help, ask for help for something, Lord Brahma says, actually, you know what, I can't help you. Let's go to Lord Vishnu. This problem is beyond me. And often, sometimes he gives them help, sometimes he says, let's go to Lord Vishnu. So therefore in the Bhagavatam, later we'll see that the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra are very, very few. Because Shukdev Goswami speaks to Parikshit Maharaj because the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra you have been hearing from very childhood. That was the culture. And it's still present in India and some parts of the world. And everyone is hearing the pastimes. And now in India they have started, telecasting this Ramayana and Mahabharata, which is very good in one way. But unless one takes to bhakti, that will just remain pious entertainment. Watching TV episodes of Ramayana and Mahabharata is good, better than watching, some cartoons or movies, etc. Certainly much better. But unless one takes to the lessons from there, which are given by the Acharyas, unless one practices what is being taught in Ramayana and Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, it will just remain some pious sattvic entertainment. So, any other comments or additions here?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes,
so this Markanteya Rishi is the same who got, who clung on to the Lord Shiva's, and when Yama came to take out his, because Lord Shiva gave only 16 years of. Is this the same Markanteya Prabhu?
No, I don't think so. This Markanteya is the one, I think, who survives for a long time and even during Pralaya, and he gets shelter at Jagannath Puri during even the Pralaya time, because it glorifies the position of Jagannath Puri Kshetra. Even during Pralaya time, that place is not devastated, and Markandeya Muni is helped to reach that place, I think, by the Supreme Lord himself. I think that's what this Markandeya Muni refers to, if I'm right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay,
We can share more maybe tomorrow after some study. Yes, but this comes in Ramayana. Yes, Bhadra Prabhu, you wanted to speak?
Yeah. What the point you have made is the Ram Navami is coming. And the Naradamuni, the Valmiki is asking questions about to Naradamuni, who is the supreme on this planet at present. There are 7 or 8 questions Naradamuni, what's his name? He is asking to Naradamuni. The Valmiki, I'm sorry. And the Naradamuni is answering all these questions to him. So now to enhance those pastime of Ramayana, we know that Valmiki is going to take a bath with his disciples, and there where he finds the 2 birds. What's the name? 2 birds. They were having the loving affairs or whatever, and the hunter kills the male bird. It was a bird. I think it is bird, but that is a name. Anyhow, so I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the name. Yeah. So this the writer of Ramayana, I keep forgetting his name. I'm sorry, all the time. So Valmiki. Valmiki. Thank you for reminding. So Valmiki is angry, and he gets angry, and he said, "How is that possible that these 2 birds, one of them is killed like this?" And he recites these words. It somehow come out from his heart. This verse, and it's a meter. In the meter, it's written. So whole Ramayana is in the meter like that. So then he realizes that, but wait a minute, why should I shouldn't get angry with this, and he's upset about it. But then when he goes back, then Lord Brahma comes. And Lord Brahma understands the situation, understands why Valmiki is not happy. And Brahma is telling that because I wanted you to say Ramayana, I am the one from within your heart gave you this speak out this verse, and it is in the meter. And now I want you to tell whole Ramayana. See, so the point you were making, and that's why it is that someone who is more than someone who's more than someone else say, okay, let's talk. Just go to him. He will tell more about it than I do. And then, of course, Valmiki is writing the whole Ramayana, that meter form. And then, of course, his Lord Ram's sons, Love and Kush, are reciting whole Ramayana to the Lord Ram. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. And then there's also a famous story of Markanteya Muni, trying to ask the Lord, I want to see the glimpse of your illusory energy. And then they see the darshan, the power of Lord's external manifestation. That's also there. We can share that tomorrow, because in the interest of the time. Any other comments or questions so far?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Probably I missed the discussion you had. I got a call. So Prabhuji, in the verse 38, in the translation, when the 4 Kumaras are casting to the Jaya and Vijaya, and he's telling that being agitated by the material qualities of passion and ignorance, you are unfit to live at the shelters of Madhudesha's lotus feet. So my question is, they are the eternally liberated souls and the servant of the Lord. How come the 4 Kumaras tell them that they are materially qualities. They still have the material qualities of patient ignorance. Can you tell me in brief again if you discussed already?
Yes, I would suggest you read Canto 3, Chapter 15 and 16. There this pastime is discussed in a lot of great details. So the lesson is, yes, they are not affected, but to exchange the rasa and to enhance, to nourish the pastime of the Lord. Now the other question may come, even if they did something wrong, why did the 4 Kumaras curse them? They are supposed to be free from anger, right? But it is mentioned in Canto 3, Chapter 15, their eyes were red hot. So they are also supposed to. So why did they get angry, and why did the 4 Kumaras get angry, and why did the 2 Jaya and Vijaya check them affected, and it appears to be affected by the modes? Both of these happen because of the Lord's sweet will. Does that make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes. Chapter 15 and 16, Canto 3. If anyone wants to read in great detail, very nicely, it will be a quick reminder. We have already read that. I'm not sure if you were present in there, but it's always good to reread. Just the translations would be even helpful. Anyone else? Any other comments or questions?
I have a quick question, Prabhu. So when Hiranyakashipu, right, when he was giving troubles to all the citizens in his kingdom, right? So everyone facing a lot of issues, right? Almost all the planet. So all the planet people supposed to get punishment during that time, because without some bad karma, no one will feel bad or get troubles, right? So the whole planet itself, all the people supposed to suffer.
Can you please repeat, bro? I'm missing you. The voice is cracking. What's your question again? During Pralay?
So, when Hiranyakashipu, right, when he was giving troubles to whole citizens of his kingdom, like everyone was suffering. So all the people supposed to suffer during that time, and the complete planet, because everyone has some bad phases to go on that time.
Are you linking it to today's situation or current situation?
Because that was Satya Yuga, right, Prabhu? If I'm not wrong, that was Satya Yuga, right? Yeah, even Satya Yuga also, all the people have some bad karma kind of thing.
So it's again, it's very, very hard. That's Bhagavad Gita says, Gahana Karmana Gatihi. It's very, very hard to comprehend why something happens. Like why I am in this situation. We discussed that yesterday also in the Bhagavad Gita discussion. This is very, very intricate. Someone may get the outcome of one's actions today. Like you act today, you get the outcome next second. Sometimes it could be after a million lifetimes or a million yugas. If we try to comprehend why this is happening, we will be just, our processor cannot process that. So the better thing what we can do is understand that whatever happens is by the Lord's supreme arrangement, and there is no mistake in that arrangement. It's not that, I deserve this karma, the Lord forgot, the Yamadutas forgot, and then somehow it was given to Rakesh Prabhu, and his karma, his deposits got to me and my were, given to him. There cannot be mistake like that. So whatever is happening in our life is by the Lord's sweet will. Now, that brings us to yesterday's discussion. Now, what can we do is try to take 100% shelter. When we take 100% shelter, then the past karmic influences cannot act. 100% shelter is no easy thing, but that's our goal and hope. Then we will be 100% under the the hands of the loving hands of the Lord. So even if it is a punishment, that doesn't mean that problems won't come, or disease won't come, or hardships won't come. But those hardships are arranged by the Lord for our purification, to help us become a better surrendered soul. So I would say, if the more we try to comprehend why, who, when, where, which yuga, which year, which lifetime, which will be very complex for us to comprehend. So that's. Anyone wants to add to that?
Yeah. Interesting. Well, we had discussed about the Dhritarashtra conversation between Dhritarashtra and Krishna, right? I think I had told that from the Mahabharata before. Anyhow, it was discussed in this class, so everybody knows that. So yeah, the karma is, coming from many births. Dhritarashtra had after 50 births, he had to go through. At the same time, as Subiraj mentioned, that if the Dhritarashtra had surrendered to Krishna, this would not have happened. So in the situation, if we take the shelter of Krishna and try to surrender, and even if you don't fully surrender, but if you desire to surrender to Krishna, then Krishna is so kind that he will help us, isn't it? And things are going on, whatever is happening in the world, but we are still reading Srimad Bhagavatam, and we are in these situations, we are still reading Srimad Bhagavatam, and we're getting the understanding of the Krishna as the Supreme, and we are taking shelter of it by reading this. So that is our shelter. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. So with that, we will pause for today and continue tomorrow. Today is also the divine appearance of a great Vaishnava, Sri Ramanaju Acharya. So we can read about him, hear about him. There are a lot of lectures available, and pray on this day for his special mercy. Grantraj Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Sri Ramanaju Acharya ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nantakoti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.